So today was another third down install, third down emphasis. Thought it was better practice-wise. We got a lot done. Tonight we'll discuss this preseason game and the rotation. I'll have more of that for you guys tomorrow. Any questions?
There are veteran quarterbacks that talk about using camp as experimenting. What can you get away with? What can you not? How do you
say it again?
There are veteran quarterbacks that talk about training camp as a time to sort of experiment with what you can.
Yeah, I mean, to some degree, there's always new things that you're looking at relative to whether it's scheme or answers to defensive scheme. So that begins to happen in the spring, and I think it carries over a little bit to training camp.
What did you like better about practice today?
I thought our tempo was better. I think our focus was a little better too. I thought we hit a little bit of a mental wall yesterday, and I think we were better today, just fighting through that.
Sean, in terms of using starters, do you think the preseason this year will be kind of similar to what you did last year in the 3 games?
I would say it would be closer to that than anything else. Mm-hmm. So those weren't by quarters, they were more by rep counts. I think last year we were somewhere between 15 and 18. I would think that'd be correct.
Just on the quarterback front, like just for example, if Bo were to make a mistake out here, you like the explanation he gave when you went through the film.
Sure.
And that can be a positive.
Yeah. Yep.
So with that said, what is Bo out there? What is Bo like asking questions to you in the floor?
Good. Listen, he's focused. These guys their personalities are all a little different, and yet, it's attentive right now. Like they're focused on today's defensive install, which was a split mug, pressure look, and so. They're grinding on the learning process, and certainly Bo's one of them. Just the communication, getting the protections, what I told them afterwards, our cadence, communication, defensively, alignment, assignment, all the details that matter when you get to third down.
Sean, with quarterbacks that are competing, how do you encourage them to take chances knowing they're trying to mitigate risk?
I want them to play fast. So, there's going to be mistakes. We'll correct them, but I'm not saying, hey, now there's a time in a game where we got to be aggressive. You guys saw a situation there where it might be the last pass. We're down 6. A lot of it depends on where you're at in the game, but relative to the normal down and distance of a game, these guys are playing through their progressions. They're doing a good job with their reads, and when you get into real games, you get a better feel for the pass rush, all the things that come with playing that position.
We've talked about Jonathan Cooper several times.
Yeah.
Kind of where do you see him in terms of being able to take a step forward in this game?
Yeah, look, he's physical. We felt like certainly he's one of our starting edge players that brings the physicality to how he plays. I think just the added reps and experience from last year will help him, and he's someone the players look up to.
Are you liking what you're seeing from the defensive front so far?
Yeah, good question. I think they've been, it's funny, there's this pendulum that kind of swings throughout camp relative to the defensive line, the offensive line, but those guys are playing with good leverage. There's a physicality that they're playing with, so, I'm looking forward to seeing it this Sunday as well.
What did you like from working with Jamar Cain last year that you wanted to kind of continue to put him in?
Well, look, he's got experience. He's someone we had a year to get a feel for his strengths, and we felt there was a good fit there. So he's handled that transition well, and is, I think, an asset for us as a coaching staff.
What is one of the most important things that you look for in that first preseason game going through training?
Just assignment, execution. You want it to be clean. You want the little things to be clean relative to penalties, making sure that we're not missing assignments. You're looking for a clean execution, and it's not going to be perfect. Every game you play, there's going to be things you look at you want to clean up, but pad level and then that intensity.
Has the outlook for Benito changed at all, or you see him out here?
No update. Yeah, I mean he's working through it, and I think he's close, but nothing to report.
Is there anything in particular you did not like about today's practice? So yesterday.
Well, it was better than yesterday's practice. Now, there's going to be some things we look at on film that we want to clean up. You know, a couple free rushers. I thought, you know, defensively we give up, you know, the pass interference there right at the end in that drill. It's a tough. You know, that ball would have been on the 1 yard line. We didn't put it there, but there'll be a few things, I'm sure, when we look at the tape that we'll make notes of.
How do you evaluate players? How do you weigh guys that make splash plays versus consistent guys that
All of it. I mean, all of it factors in. At some point, you have to know what you're getting, though, consistency-wise. So it's all part of it.
Do you have any update on your DBs, Jones and Wallace, who've missed time with hamstrings?
No update.
After a couple of weeks, what have you seen in terms of Jonah Ellis progressing?
Yeah, I think, look, we've seen more this week than the week prior, and this preseason game will be a good first exposure. And we also think he's someone I'm anxious to see how he plays in the kicking game as well.
We've read into how the quarterback reps have gone. Have you communicated with the quarterbacks themselves? Just played
In regards to this game,
this game and the way.
haven't talked to him about this game. But each day, obviously, they understand how the reps are going to go, though.
Do you change reps, Sean, in practice with quarterbacks, just by what you're seeing, or you want to see something again, or things like that?
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of, you know, we outlined the week really at the start of the week, and then tonight we'll meet on Sunday's game and kind of go through phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and so these guys will have a better idea as we move on to Indianapolis how we're going to play and who's going to be in those 3 phases.
When you look at your inside linebackers with Cody and Jonas, how does one separate themselves? Like, what needs to happen?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the body of work ultimately, and right now those two are competing pretty hard at it. You know, there's some pluses that you see with each, and then there's some things that they need to work on. But look, and I've said this, and I'll say this to the players. You know, when we get focused like we all are right now on the depth, and we look singularly on the roster, and the players begin to do that, they need to understand that you're not just competing with Jonas or Cody. You're competing with the other Mikes that possibly might become available. You know, you're competing with 31 other teams at that. So it's important that they're focused really on their job and what they're doing. And if you start trying to look and project, you can drive yourself crazy, and it's not really a clean or clear indicator as to what might happen. So they're competing with all those players at their position around the league.
Well, the NFL has plenty of rules. One of them, the depth chart has to be released at a certain time.
Yep.
Would you like to see the NFL get rid of it?
No. Come on. No. We just released the depth chart yesterday. All good. I just didn't spend a lot of time on it.
Well, what's the purpose of doing it?
Ask them. I mean, I think for every game, I think it's important there's a depth chart. It's a starting point. I just didn't want to make a big deal over the rookies all being at the end of the line. And you guys went into a tizzy. So, they're all at the end of the line, and obviously that'll change.
When you have a day focused on defensive pressure, what are you hoping to see from the quarterbacks in your scheme?
Well, good question. I mean, there's a lot of communication. So we're installing a third down package. Defensively, they are as well. So some of the looks we get, we need to change the protection. That's the biggest thing, is communication, protection. You know, is it staying on or are we changing it? That's where the stress is.
What have you made of Evel Bailey so far in that inside linebacker room?
Yeah, look, he's picking things up. He, like the rest of this rookie class, I mean, it's going to be important that he can help us in the kicking game. I like him. I like how he's built. Once we get to tackling, I'm anxious to see how he fares there, because we liked him on his college film. So he's working hard, and I'm sure it's a lot compared to what he had to do in college, but he's hanging in there.